This is Strykes Sessions.
Okay, holy crap, this took so long to set up. I actually am not balancing this light on the top of my camera anymore. It's similar to these lights, but it has like a bendy thing, like I can like move it. So it's like an actual like directional light now. I got rid of the Euphoria poster. I'm gonna make this wall, this one right here, the discography wall. It's just too awkward right there. The lamp has to go there, and I don't want a piece of photo paper right there. It's just like, it just looks weird. Got these installed since the last podcast. You've seen them. You saw them in the headphone review, I think was the first video I did when they were up. Also, you might notice this podcast looks a little different. I recently installed a new picture profile on my Canon 80D. So I'm basically now filming in log, and I got DaVinci Resolve, which is like a god tier color correcting or color grading software, not color correcting, but color grading software. So it looks a little bit better, kind of going with a more teal and orange, like, you know, contrasty vibe, not so much that matte, like kind of tan brown look that the previous podcast had. Like I said last podcast, what episode is this? Episode 8, right? Yeah. This is a rant. So I've had this theory since 2018, like March, April 2018, I first thought of this. And it's the theory that when you first learn about a new experience, or like you hear about an upcoming experience, or you know that, you know, something is like an event is about to happen or something like that, like say you're going to a concert, say you're something as simple as hanging out with friends like later that night or whatever, you have a vision of what's gonna go down, what's gonna happen. And usually, unless you've had some like traumatic experience relating to that same like event or whatever, you envision like a positive outcome, a good time, everything goes right. And my theory is, if you can work to control every like situation like that in your life, every event, every moment like that in your life, if you can control that as much as you can control it, because you can only control so much, obviously. If you can control that as much as you can to make that said event or that experience go the best it can possibly go, the way you had a vision of in your head, that will lead to the best overall macro experience of your life, the overall best macro version of your life. Your life, even though you'll only experience one, it has an infinite amount of versions. One decision you make can lead to a whole nother trillion decisions over the course of your whole life. You'll only experience one version. The possibilities of your life going a different route compared to 2 seconds ago are endless. So like I said, if you can control those micro experiences that you have visions of, and you make them go the way you see it in your head, you make them go as best as they can be, you know, the way you see them in your head, that will lead to the best macro version of your life overall. Sorry, that was a really long explanation, but it's kind of complicated just like explaining it. And I just call it visions. Like that's like the name for my theory. And I've recently started a super in-depth, there's a lot of emotions in it, but it's a very heavy film project kind of video explaining, and just it explains it, but like it explains what I just explained to you, but it captivates you in a way that is very heavy and grim almost, grim at times. And it just kind of shows you like, do what you want to do. Sorry, my camera's kind of shaking, but I have it like, I need to like finalize the setup because this is too bad. Do what you want to do. It's as simple as that. Do what you want to do it now, do it before it's too late. You never know when your time is up here on this earth, and just kind of make the most of every experience that you have in life. And this project kind of really makes you feel that kind of drive to like get going and be motivated and just start whatever you've been wanting to start right then and there. It does that in a really heavy and captivating way. I feel like it's definitely powerful. It's definitely something you're gonna want to watch when it comes out. It'll probably come out in a few weeks. It's just a piece to make you feel. I say this line in the video. The video exists to open your eyes to the fine line between life and death, and to motivate you, and to kind of put a fire under you to, you know, get going, start that thing, do that thing, be that new person, change yourself for the better. Whatever you're trying to do. Where I'm leading with this kind of explanation of what this movie is, I'm leading into this rant where You have to start now. If you don't start now, you are never going to start. You have to push yourself to start now. You have to be strict on yourself. If you're doing something that involves a routine, like working out, eating right, just doing something as simple as like going for a walk every day, you need to do it now. You need to start now. You need to be strict on yourself. You need to stick to it, and your future self will thank you for it. It's going to suck depending on what you're doing, it's going to suck the first couple times. I guarantee you, your future self will thank you for it. Whether that's starting an Instagram brand, whether it's starting a YouTube channel, whether it applies to anything. It applies to any change, anything new that you want to apply in your life. This theory applies to that, and this video applies to that. And I can't, especially now, like I used to be like I used to be like fairly insecure about a lot of things. And especially over this quarantine, I've realized like nothing matters, dude. Gary Vee probably has said this, but I think, yeah, he was definitely the one who said this. 99% of things don't matter. Like, they just don't. Once you can really understand that and believe that and know that, your whole outlook on life, your whole world, both like, inside and out, is going to change. People don't actually care. I think it's more on the negative side. People don't actually care if they're being negative to you. They don't actually care. They're not like, they say those things, they write those comments, whatever the hell it is. They do it and then they move on. They forget about it 2 seconds later. No one actually cares. So that's why I'm like so like driven to make people feel the drive that I have whenever I think about my theory, which is visions, because like no one actually cares. Just do it. You want to, just do it. And I'm making this whole video piece to really this goes deep. And I've tried to do this video piece many times over the course of the past 2 years, ever since I first thought this theory. I knew I wanted to make a video piece on it instantly. I've tried to do it many times. I didn't have substance for it. I didn't have anything I could relate it to. And now because of COVID and everything, and even though it's a very, grim and sad topic, something that, is serious, this theory is serious. You not doing that thing is serious. You not being the person you want to be is serious. A lot of people don't, and a lot of people haven't. Like I said, because of this COVID thing, I can relate this theory to coronavirus and this whole pandemic, and it just adds way more substance and story to the video piece. So that's why I'm doing it now, while this is clearly still relevant. It's gonna be relevant for a while, because I feel like it's the thing I can relate this most to, or at least connect the idea of, the reality of tomorrow not always being promised. So I'm not going to say too much more in the movie. I want it to be relatively a fresh concept, fresh idea, fresh theme in your head when you watch it for the first time. Just go out and do your thing, dude. Like, no one cares. No one's going to care. And you're going to care if you're laying on your deathbed in 70 years and you didn't do it. You're going to care. I may be young, I may be 17, but I know you're going to care. Go do your thing.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, we're trying to get out more podcasts for you now than ever. If you guys want to listen to more of our podcasts, you can find us on Spotify, iTunes. All of our important links are below as always, and we'll talk to you soon.